Disclaimer. This video is created for entertainment and
Peace and awaken. Welcome to a new episode of HigherZone. Today on the menu, we got some mind-bending, mysterious TikToks that at least don't want you to see. Before we get into these videos, if you're not tapped in with the family yet, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button to boost the algorithm of the family. For everybody that's tapped in, you know I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I got mad love for y'all. L-O-V-E to the fullest. With that being said, family, let's jump straight into these videos. Let's go.
Okay guys, the time is finally here and you are not going to want to miss this, so stay till the end. I'm finally going to be posting my crazy TikTok live that you can see here where so many things happened, but most notably was this bright green light that I saw in the ocean. This weird green vessel thing on the beach. And I had no idea what it was about to wrap up my live and go home, and I saw this and exactly what I said. What on earth is that? Then there was a car that had been parked on the side of the road that was running for over 2 hours. That one right there, with no one inside of it. I then heard something on the pier and looked over and could not believe what I just saw. So check this out. What in the freaking hell is that? You guys, what the funk? Literally, I feel like, what the fuck is that, you guys? Okay, now, oh my god, what is that, you guys? Okay, so I then proceed to walk down the path to get a closer view of what was going on. I was trying to zoom in to figure out myself what I was seeing. So sorry about all the bumps and movement in the camera. I was also walking my 100-pound Rottweiler at the same time. Here I am passing the same vehicle that is still on with nobody inside at all. As I'm trying to hurry down the path as fast as possible without falling, I noticed that there are several sheriff's vehicles that are parked above, and also several of them that were moving and driving inside of the area. So obviously something was going on, and that green boat or whatever it was more than likely not supposed to be there. So as they pass, I cross over and make my way to the other side. Something on the beach. Now I have a slightly better view and can see both the green boat, whatever it is, and then the blue. So as you can see, it's kind of flailing around. I've never seen a boat with this bright of a light before. It was hard to see what it was exactly because it was dark, and of course the light was reflecting on the ocean. It just doesn't come through very well with my phone and being at night and the bright out blue eyes. It's an alien. I know. I want to go tour. I mean you no harm. Just want to take a quick tour. Do you guys see it? The tide is very low and way out, so it is very close to the shore. There's nothing to fish here. It is not legal for boats to just come up into the shore of the beach. So now you can see how close in proximity the blue boat with the light and the green light boat are to each other. So the cops are there. Right there. Green light. So that has to be law enforcement of some sort. That was what happens next is even crazier than all of this. So make sure to go to...
It seems like the cops got out their car to go check it out also. Very bizarre. Don't know what it is. Comment down below if anybody have any idea of what we looking at.
You cannot sit here and tell me that vampires are not real. If you seen the movie Sinners, this shit just gonna pop in your mind like, what the fuck? This is by far one of the weirdest shit I ever seen, y'all. On this video, this lady came out of nowhere asking this man, can she come in his gate? Can she come in to see his dogs. She heard that he had black German shepherds. And he was like, how did you get here? This is far. She said, yeah, I came from far away. I got dropped off here. And she kept begging and pleading for him to let her in. Y'all, look at this shit.
Sorry, what'd you just say?
I heard you had these beautiful black German shepherds here, so I came down to say hi.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Is it okay if I come in? Just for a quick second.
Oh, no, we don't really allow visitors in.
I came a long way just to...
How do you even know that we're here?
Somebody told me. This is where you...
How did you get here? How did you get here?
I walked from all the way down the road. Someone dropped me off.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't really allow visitors. We just moved in, and these dogs, they're out here with me now. They're friendly, but we have some rescue dogs and even protection dogs behind the other gate over there. So, we don't really have a open dog policy.
I'm really great with dogs. Is it okay if I meet them? You'll see. I'll show you.
No, if these guys, they're out, if they want to come say hi at the gate, it's okay.
Y'all, she was persistent. It's more. Hold up.
No, don't open the gate. Like I said, the dogs in the back, they are not as friendly as the ones that are out here, so please don't open the gate.
I'll show you. It's just going to be a quick second.
No, not today. Maybe another time, but we're not allowing visitors. And I don't even know how he got here.
I told you I came down the road. Listen. Fuck you.
Can you just let go of the gate?
I thought you were nice. I just wanted to say hi to your dog.
No, we are nice. We just don't allow visitors on the property.
If that don't remind y'all of the movie Sinners, I don't know what will. From how it sounds, it's like he lives somewhere secluded, like off-road type shit. So she really had to travel to get to this man's place. And it's weird. Like he said, how you know I got dogs? Like, what the fuck? I'm new here. This is weird, fool. And she was persistently trying to get in this man's crib. Y'all be careful out here, bro. I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't think certain shit... I don't even gotta talk about it no more. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
Man, listen, Zone family. Man, listen. How did you know I got these dogs here? She ain't say nothing. Where did you come from? Oh, way down there. Down there my ass. Please protect your space. Comment down below.
Listen, you need to leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna let them out. It's midnight. What are you doing here? Leave now. It's midnight. We're not playing any more games. You are agitating my dogs. I told you late at night my guard dogs are out, and they're out. I'm not gonna be babysitting. You broke into the property at 3 in the morning. They're gonna come out.
I just came to bless you and your dog.
You need to leave now. You need to leave now. I'm letting them out. Don't come any closer. I'm gonna let them out.
You don't have to let them out.
I'm gonna let them out.
Don't do that.
They're here and they're waiting.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna leave. The police has been looking for 4 days now. There's no one around. This is my place. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're coming from.
I just came to bless you.
I'm letting my dogs out.
Don't do that.
Let them motherfuckers out, bruh. Cook that ass.
She disappeared. What the hell?
Zone family. Man, listen, Zone family, I oughta let that dog eat her ass, okay? Excuse my French, okay? I apologize, but listen, you show up during the day, then you show up again at midnight to my property? Oh, hell no. Bro is too nice. This lady must be a skinwalker, or she must be a damn entity. Her ass disappeared. Man, I oughta let them dogs out, baby. Comment down below, chat.
Dude, there's so many of them. There's on the west side, east side, south side. asomoso. Look, you see the eyes out there.
Them dogs was quiet as hell. They don't want no smoke with Dog Man.
Suddenly, a rock was thrown at him by a massive creature resembling Bigfoot. The surprise encounter left him off balance and unsure how to react. Its enormous size and long arms made it hard for skeptics to dismiss it as a hoax. No man in a costume could throw rocks with such impressive reach. Some skeptics argue it could be a person in a costume with arm extensions, which is a possibility. But I believe it's unlikely someone could throw a rock that far without using their own hand. What do you think? In 2014, while hiking near Lake Ontario, a man was drawn by unusual sounds rustling in the bushes nearby. Intrigued by the curious noises, he decided to turn on his camera to document the moment. What he captured next left him astonished. What do you think this hiker captured on camera? A Bigfoot or something else? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and also do not forget to subscribe to the channel, as this will help you not to miss new videos. In Picker, Oklahoma, a man was strolling down the road when he decided to pause for a moment and take in his surroundings. Unfortunately, this choice resulted in an unexpected and terrifying encounter.
Okay, dude, I swear, man, I saw something over there. He's got, like, I don't know, it looked like a man, but I don't know what the fuck it was. It was walking around. I just saw, I don't know, this thing doesn't pick up shit. No, fuck me. Fuck me. What the fuck? Shit.
Bigfoot or not, okay? Bigfoot or not. Once I seen him, I'd about face and went the other way. I ain't got no time to be playing Expect a Gadget or any of that. Comment down below.
I think I just found proof of the monkey man in Mexico. Look at this shit. Monkey man in Mexico, bro. They caught him in the fucking Sierra.
This is as unsettling as it gets, because while it initially appears to be an animal, things change when the beast moves closer.
Bro, look at that, bro. That's exactly what my brother saw. They recorded this in the Sierra. I've been telling you this is a real story. I'm not even tripping.
It's not a face that resembles any animal. No, this is an nagual, a witch with a humanoid face.
Look at that, bro. Caught him in 4K, well, not in 4K, but you know what I'm saying. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to send this to my brother, bro. He's gonna have to confirm if this was the monkey man he saw. But y'all see that shit?
In 2021, a man from Costa Rica heard a commotion outside his house, with dogs seemingly barking.
I remember watching this when I was a kid, man.
His curiosity turned into raw fear when he checked the security footage.
Damn, that motherfucker's struggling, man.
This was no man, neither did it look like an animal. No one had seen a creature like
this.
That's
crazy.
Limbs, almost like a spider. What was truly terrifying
what the fuck,
was that this thing was even bigger than the dogs.
Fuck. It's a crab. It's a crab, yo.
Bruh, are y'all just making all this shit up? Dog man, wolf man, monkey man. What's next? Comment down below, man.
A bee scientifically cannot fly with its body weight and the size of its wings. Cannot. It shouldn't be able to. It literally said in the beginning of the bee movie, but bees don't care what humans think. That's why they can still fly, right?
True.
But there's actually real things that are going on. They don't really just use their wings to flap air to fly. What they're doing is they're using vibration to make themselves fly. They're using frequency to make themselves fly. You know when they put sand on a table and they play a certain hertz, a certain frequency of sound, what happens to sand? It creates like hexagons. It creates like certain patterns. What is a honeycomb?
Oh, it's the same thing?
It's the same thing. It's hexagons. How do they make that shape? It's because of the vibration they're moving at. Now, why is honey literally probably the only food naturally that doesn't go bad? It's been blessed by the frequency of the bees.
If you know, you know. Bees are the most high vibrating insects there is. Comment down below.
Halloween's the most dangerous season of the year for the homeless. I'm like, well, why is that? Are they eating bad candy? What's going on here? He's like, no. They have these vans that come around and they tell the homeless they're going to take them to a shelter. They've got whole big meals set up for them and showers, and they can wash their clothes and all this. And a lot of them get in the vans and go. And then they tie them up and they hold them for the 31st. And then they sacrifice them on the evening of Halloween to the devil.
Guys, this reminds me of William Bonin. Just type him in. He used a van and he picked up hitchhikers off the side of the freeway in America. I think it was in 1979. Hitchhikers and homeless people are a perfect target. They're displaced. No one knows exactly their location and where they're supposed to be. So it makes sense to me. Evil, sick demons would prey on people like this. And if you really look behind the meaning of Halloween, you'd see why people who think like that would use a day like that to do evil things.
This is a crazy theory because a lot of people been wondering, where are they taking these homeless people? Because once the homeless people leave the streets, you don't even see them anymore. That is crazy. Comment down below.
On May 6th in 2019, a family went to explore an abandoned gold mine in the Nevada desert. And while this was meant to be just a fun time with the family, they ended up discovering something inside the cave that was deeply unsettling to them. When the family initially entered the cave, they remained silent as to not cause an accidental cave-in, but as they continued to explore, they looked deep into the cave and realized that there was something reflecting back at them. When they went to go see what it was, check out what they found.
So, do you see that reflection? We're trying to... Check it out.
The family ran across a group of shoes and bones, and theories began to circulate immediately as to why they were there. While some theorized that it could have been a serial trophy collection, others believed that it could have been a nest for a predator like a mountain lion or cougar. At the end of the day, we don't know for sure, but let me know what you...
I'm gonna let y'all know what I think about that. Straight rituals. Somebody was over there doing rituals. They was doing rituals. Comment down below.
17 dimensions. And an entity that they have been in contact with for over 7 years.
Don't be afraid. Be imperfect.
So CERN recently turned on their Hadron, however you guys want to call it, collider. I always call it hydrogen collider. But then again, this ain't my first language. Hi, my name is Armin. This is The Imperfect. If you're new to the channel, please consider dropping a follow. It'll mean the world to me, and I'll follow you back as soon as I can. TikTok allows me 10,000, and we're halfway there. Anyway, so CERN literally turned on their hydrogen collider, however you want to call it, once again. But this is concerning. Why is this? So they had this weird ritual that lasted for 4 hours. What? They did this above ground and underground. You have world leaders from all over the place that took part in this, at least as a witness or a fan, right? So if we're spending $10 billion to search for the God particle, antimatter, a lot of people are saying that they're trying to store antimatter, but they can't. Also, why are they calling it the portal of Osiris? All kinds of weird stuff is going on here. If it's supposed to be scientific, why are they dressed demonic? Why are they dressed as goats? Why are they doing human?
Imperfect.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not... This ain't right. Something's up, clearly. The fact that they named it a portal anyway, the portal of Osiris, but the fact they're willing to openly say it's a portal, this also is not science fiction. This is science fact. CERN literally says this
who are
themselves.
actively engaged, according to their own words, communicating with something with a personality.
That should be concerning. Again, my name is Armin. Welcome to The Imperfect. If you're new to the channel, drop that follow.
That's something CERN was communicating with. That's the same entity they want to put inside Gilgamesh. This is a crazy world, man. I don't know what these people trying to do, but they can miss me with it. Comment down below.
12 states, 2 oceans, 2 continents, and I can validate you're being lied to about where you live. Large bodies of water do not curve. Land surveyors treat the earth as flat when they build bridges, canals, buildings, and railroads. Pilots fly their airplanes like the earth is perfectly flat. Microwave engineers build their towers from city to city, assuming the earth is perfectly flat. And you can test it yourself. That's what I've done. I tested it for 10 years, guys. Been on National Geographic, Netflix, MSN, Google News, Daily Mail, New York Post, Chicago Tribune, LA Times. They are all lying to you. They do not care about you. Period. So, I've used infrared, telescopes, high-power zoom cameras, done mirror reflection tests with the sun. I've debated NASA employees, land surveyors, PhD astrophysicists. They all get smoked like Cuban cigars because they don't have the truth on their side. The globe religion is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's a bunch of hocus pocus, booga booga nonsense. Until you figure that out, well, you're just going to be one of the free-range NPCs, eating your goy slop, wondering what's the next thing you need to care about on the news. But why would they lie to me? Well, you're going to have to figure that one out for yourself.
Welcome to the Truman Show. Nah, dead ass, this is the Truman Show 2.0. Comment down below.
If you had to choose, would you rather know what was going on in Antarctica, the Vatican, or Area 51? Because the rabbit holes of secrets just feel never ending. When I was thinking about the Vatican earlier, I was like, think about the fact that the Bible itself had 80 books in the 1600s. Now we're down to 66, and they removed things like giants, dragons, sirens, Enoch, the Book of Mary Magdalene. All of these different things are hidden from us, and we just don't even know why. Nevertheless, I saw this guy talking about the fact that there were 200 angels that fell from the sky, and around the earth we have 190 craters that have no rock or rubble that were ever found. And then this other person was like, yeah, 10 of them fell into the ocean. Then this lady blew my mind because she was like, what if that's what took the dinosaurs? And why would there be a book about dragons if dragons never existed? And I've gone down so many rabbit holes in the last couple of days that my mind is completely depleted and exhausted, but I'm also super intrigued and I just want to know more. But I feel like I'm just going in circles because every time I uncover a layer, I end up looking into something else that has nothing to do with what I was looking for. And then I'm just stuck because I'm like, I didn't know this either. So what do y'all think about this? Like, if you had to choose, what would you go to first? Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what other crazy rabbit hole has recently come out that you've been going down under. Share this so that we can keep this discussion going. Like, follow, stay for some more tea. I appreciate y'all support. Bye.
Zone family, if you had to pick, which one would you pick? Comment down below in the comments. I would definitely like to know.
That you must follow. You see, people lock their doors and windows at night. They close the curtains. They will not go outside because they know what's out there in the Appalachian Mountains. Now, this story comes out of the Roanoke Valley region of Virginia. There was this family from New York who had lived in the city most of their life. They wanted to get away and, live that remote urban life. So they find this beautiful home on 16 acres in this secluded area of the Roanoke Valley in the Appalachian Mountains. And their first day moving in, the father, he notices something weird. The neighbor actually comes not to greet them, not to welcome them to the area, but to warn them. And he says very specifically, at night, make sure you lock your doors and your windows and you close the curtains. And he says it's very important, there is something out there. And he goes, you mean the people in this area are really like that you have to lock your doors? And he goes, I'm not talking about people, it's something else. But that's all I'm going to say. Now just remember, lock your doors and your windows at night. You'll be all right. So the neighbor leaves. Well, the father kind of just shakes it off and was like, okay, whatever. So they live there for several months, and they really enjoy their new life. Well, this one particular night, the family is sitting in the living room and they have a fire going. That's when the father notices that the son is standing next to the window and he's staring at something very intently. And so he asks the son, what are you staring at? What's out there? And he goes, Father, there's a boy out there. There's this young boy. Can I go and play with him? And the father's like, what are you talking about? There's no boy around here. We live in the woods. There's no one around here. And he's like, no, Father, there's a boy out there. There's a boy out there. And the father's like, you know what? It's time for bed. Go to bed. And he doesn't really think anything of it. over the next couple of weeks, right, the son keeps looking out the window at something and telling his father there's this boy outside. And he keeps drawing pictures of this boy, and he keeps saying, I really want to play with that boy. The father at the time just thinks, this is something to do with him moving and his active imagination. Until one night, the whole family is asleep. When the father wakes to a sound coming from the living room, he gets his wife up and he's like, I think someone's in the house. I think someone's broken in. Like, go and get the children, make sure they're safe. So he gets up, he goes down the hallway very slowly, and when he gets to the living room and he flips on the light, there's his son on the floor playing with his toys. And the front door is wide open. So he asks the son, like, what are you doing up? Why are you out of bed? And he goes, Father, I'm playing with the boy. And he goes, what boy? What are you talking about? He said, the boy, he came inside and he was playing with me. And his father's like, there is no boy here. Like, there's no one around here that is your age. So he tells his son to go to bed. He goes to the front door and he, peers out. There's no one out there. He closes the door. Well, up until this point, he had been keeping this door unlocked because he felt like, we live in the woods, nothing's going to happen. But that night, he starts locking the door. Well, the next couple of weeks, right, is when they started to hear this banging sound at the front door, like someone was there. And when the father would go and answer the door, there would be no one there. And eventually, the father gets so frustrated and angry with whoever's knocking at the door that one night he hears the knocking. He goes to the front door, he opens it, and, he goes out on the porch and he starts screaming, what are you doing at my house? Like, leave us alone, leave my family alone, like, quit. And all of a sudden, he hears his name being called. And it sounds like a child's voice. And it's telling him to come out into the woods. So this father, kind of makes his way back inside, closes the door, and locks it. And at this point, he's like, something is definitely going on. So the next day, he goes into town, and he goes to the local hardware store. And he talks with some of the locals. And he starts telling them, I think something's after my family. I think something is trying to, scare us. And the locals say, look, we're not trying to be rude, but you need to take your family and get out of here and move back to town if you know what's best for you. And the father takes this as, they're trying to scare me out of town because I'm from the city. So he goes back home and is like, they're not going to scare us. At this point, though, the family is so terrified that they are all sleeping in the same bedroom. And after a couple nights of them sleeping in the bedroom together, the father wakes up and he sees his son standing next to the window and he's staring at something. And he's like, what are you looking at? Like, what is out there? What is out there? And he goes, they're here. They're here, Father. They're here. They're here. And he's like, who's here? And he's like, go back in the bed right now. He goes up to the window, and when he peers out, he sees all of these children standing around the house. And they have these bright, glowing white eyes. So he hurries up, he closes the curtains, and he gets in bed, and he holds his son, and he tells him to go to sleep. The next few days, he's very nervous. He's very on edge, but he doesn't know what to do. That night, he goes to bed with the family in the bedroom. He wakes up and he discovers his family is all gone. He searches the entire home. They are nowhere. The only thing he finds is that the front door is open. So he figures they've taken his family out into the woods. So he runs as fast as he can out into the woods and he starts screaming, where's my family? Give me back my family. And all of a sudden, he hears some movement coming through the woods. And out of the shadows steps this young boy. And as this boy takes a couple steps closer, he realizes it's his son. And he has these glowing white eyes. And he looks at his father and he says, not yet. And the father takes off running as fast as he can back to the house. He gets in his car, he drives into town and goes to the local pub. And he starts screaming to them, like, they've got my family, they've taken my family, like, you have to help me. And then he runs out of the bar and he leaves. And that was the last time that they ever seen this man or his family ever again.
Chat, you did not want to listen to the locals. First thing you have to do is listen to the locals. They've been there before you. My boy said, nope, they're trying to scare me. I'm going back home. Man, listen, look what happened. Whole family gone, kid's eyes is glowing, and the locals don't know what to tell you. Comment down below.
Encontrei vampiro real e assustador dormindo em uma árvore. Para quem acha que é uma estátua, prestem atenção no vídeo. Dá pra ver sua respiração e suas veias pulsando. Eu não acreditava que esse tipo de coisa existia até ver na minha frente. O pior aconteceu comigo nesse dia. Eu e meu amigo ouvimos histórias que uma criatura morava nessa floresta. Alguns diziam que era um skinwalker, outros que era um demônio. Por cada pessoa contar a história de um jeito, resolvi ir ver pessoalmente o que era. E esse foi o meu erro. Vocês não vão acreditar no que aconteceu. Histórias contam que seu nome era Alfred e tinha 45 anos. Ele morava aqui com seu cachorro, até que uma noite algo ocorreu. Ele viu que algo estava observando ele dentro da sua casa e saiu para ver. O vampiro pegou e arrastou ele mata dentro. Nunca mais acharam o Alfred, mas dizem que ele virou aquilo após ser mordido. Se querem ver a continuação do vídeo, peçam a parte 2 nos comentários. Só irei postar se pedirem muito. O pior aconteceu.
Zone family, I really don't know what they were saying. It was in Spanish, but I don't know if that was a bruca. That's what they say. That's what they call them, a bruca. I don't know. But if you know what they saying, comment down below. Was that real or fake?
This was the real-life Scooby-Doo, and it was seriously creepy. Back in 1961, a traveling group called the Dober Scoobers made headlines for solving strange cold cases all across Ohio. The team was made up of 4 teenagers and a giant Great Dane named Jasper, who, they claimed, could actually understand human language. They drove around in an old green van, showing up wherever something weird happened. Ghost sightings, missing people, creepy old mines, and somehow they always figured it out. But in October 1964, something went terribly wrong. They were in a small town called Amber Falls, investigating a series of disappearances connected to a shut-down amusement park. Only 2 members of the group made it out. The other 2 were found days later, deep inside a tunnel under the park. They had no injuries, but their faces were frozen in pure terror. But here's the part that still haunts people. In 1972, a hiker took a photo deep in the Amber Falls woods. It showed a tall creature walking upright with the head of a dog and on the ground, a ripped blue collar. The tag on it said S.
Scooby-Doo. I definitely don't know if that's true or not. Let me know your thoughts on that Scooby-Doo story.
7 left a town traumatized. In 1997, a children's entertainer named Grinny Greg was the highlight of every birthday in Cedar Grove, Indiana. He wore a tattered blue suit, oversized yellow shoes. Kids loved him. Parents trusted him. Then the children started disappearing, one by one, always from parties where Greg had performed. No signs of struggle, just red balloons left behind, tied to empty chairs. Police grew suspicious, but Greg always had an alibi. Until one night, a father followed him after a show. Greg drove to a locked storage unit on the edge of town. When police raided it the next morning, what they found inside was worse than they imagined. 12 pairs of small children's shoes lined up neatly along a concrete wall, some stained, taped to the far wall, photographs of each missing child. Under each photo hung a piece of clothing, tiny shirts, socks, even a dress, all stained. In the center of the room, a child-sized wooden desk, a VHS camera on top, plugged in, and behind it, a plastic tarp folded neatly, streaked with old blood. Everything in the room had a purpose. Nothing was random. Greg was arrested that day without resisting. His final words before going silent were, "I never liked birthdays. Too loud."
Clowns have this bad stigma about them, right? And parents still order clowns to come do their kid's birthday party. That is wild. That is super wild. Comment down below if you would order a clown to come perform at your kid's party, knowing all kinds of information about clowns. And a lot of the information about clowns are actually true. They're killers, they're weirdos, and the whole 9 yards.
Paranormal, extraterrestrial, or unexplainable stories that have ever happened to you. Ghost stories.
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay,
I do.
God bless you. What do you got for me?
So I was dating this girl, not my ex, or my ex, but the other ex, before Epic Meal Time ever happened, in my basement. And I always felt like weird vibes in my basement. Like I'd wake up sometimes and I felt like I couldn't breathe, you know? And I'm not someone who's like, there's ghosts, but I am someone like, maybe there's ghosts, you know? I'm like, you know, I'm very like, anything is possible to exist or not exist, who knows?
Go to certain trouble. Could someone grab him? Let him out of the room?
And so what happened was there's this ghost in history or in different cultures that sits on your chest.
I've heard, yeah.
And you could wake up maybe like, or in your dream you can't breathe, or you're kind of awake and you know you're napping, but you can't breathe. And it's like, it's like hard to breathe. And it's like there's this I experienced it. I remember experiencing it and Googling it and then finding that in culture there's just like this ghost that sits on your chest. Whatever, you know, it's a thing. Whatever. I had these weird experiences. And then I remember being in bed with my girlfriend at the time, and it felt like we're both in bed, and I wake up, it's like 4 a.m. and it's black in the room, all the lights are off, and it felt like someone was at the edge of the bed, kind of like pushing down on the bed, and it felt like the bed was moving a bit, and I felt that, and my face was up against the wall, so I like put my finger on the wall to see if my finger was moving, or if I was just imagining this bounce, and I felt my finger like going on the wall, so I was like, feels like someone's here. And so I roll over this way, so I'm facing her now, but you know, I don't know if she's facing me or if she's sleeping, whatever. And I roll over and she just goes, Harley. And I was like, what? She goes, there's someone here. And I look at the foot of the bed, and everything's black, but at the foot of the bed, it's extra black, like really dark, like ultimate darkness. So there's just like two things you could do here. I could scream at the top of my lungs, or I could fight. I kind of did a mix of both. I like stood up and I was like, and like fell through whatever was there or wasn't there, and my light is behind it. So when I fell through it, I hit my light, and my light turns on, and she's got tears all over her face. She was like, there was a ghost here for like 20 minutes. I swear he was there. Don't freak out. And I totally thought there was a ghost. I was like, oh, don't worry. I wasn't going to be like, oh my God, I felt it too. So I was like, oh, don't worry, you stupid idiot. You thought there was a ghost here? No, that's so dumb. You must feel foolish. And I'll be like, we'll just keep the TV on if it makes you feel better. You know, I'm like putting the TV on and keeping the light on and everything. And like, it was a weird encounter. Fast forward a week from then. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm just drenched in sweat. Like, I'm sweating, I'm drenched, and I'm like full on like having rage sex. And I'm like, what?
When you wake up?
I wake up and I'm doing it, and I'm like covered in sweat, and I was like, what? And
You're
like,
in a sexual act when you wake
I'm having sex.
Okay.
I'm having sex right now, and I'm like, what is, I like pull out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, what are you doing? I was like, what happened here? She was like, I don't know. You just got really one-track minded about it, and you wanted to do it. And I was like, oh, I did this? She's like, yeah. I'm like, it wasn't me. And she was like, no, it was you. And I'm like, no, I think that was the ghost from the other week that did this. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm sweating, and I don't remember starting this, and that's not, when do I ever do this? And I don't want to do this. And I think he's fucking with us, or he fucked you, or whoever that is, or whoever the ghost was, that I didn't do this. Look at me. I'm soft now. I don't even want to be here. I didn't want this activity to occur.
You were actually having sex with your girlfriend?
I was fully having sex.
Okay,
I woke up, and I was in the middle of sex.
And then all of a sudden you were like, wait.
I was like, whoa, I'm awake now. Right. Who did this? She was like, you're being weird. Why don't you just bang this one out and let's get back to bed? And I was like, no, tell me, how did we get to this place?
Crazy.
And she was like, you did this. She was like, you woke me up, you didn't say anything, you were just really one-track minded about it. And I was like, whoa, oh my God.
Is that the only time that's ever happened to you?
Those are the only scenarios that happened. Her and I didn't stay together much longer anyways, and I didn't stay in that house much longer anyways. So I don't know if it was her or the house, but those were the encounters that time that a ghost fucked my girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The ghost said, if you ain't gonna do it, my man, I'm gonna hop in there and do what it do, okay? Listen, I ain't gonna hate on the ghost or nothing like that, but something gotta give. Either you move or your honey bunny's in danger. Comment down below.
All the time, as well as
Turn off the light, turn off the light.
Okay.
What if the odd something just walks next to us?
Thank God.
Bigfoot must be a cool motherfucker if you ask me. I never heard of Bigfoot eating somebody. That might have been his friends, or some locals around the area, or somebody camping. Cause if Bigfoot really wanted, he would have slapped him right through that tent. Comment down below.
Hi guys, it's Rusty. I'm about to interview the young man that was driving the truck the night of the frantic 911 call. T, finally I get a chance to meet you. I gotta tell you, I heard the 911 call a couple of months ago, actually. And it's been a little bit of a challenge to, get the sheriff's schedule, my schedule, and finally now we've got your schedule all worked out so that we can talk to you and get you to tell your story. Obviously, we're not going to share your name or your face. Totally understand that. But after talking with you, clearly your voice is the voice that's on that 911 call. So if you would, just start wherever you want to. We want to hear the whole story. Take as much time as you need.
I guess I'll start from the beginning of the trip. I was coming up from Florida to visit my family. At the time, I was going to a trade school down there, and when I was driving up here to where the incident occurred by the battlefield, it was already easily well into the morning. I wasn't looking at my phone. I just know it was pitch black outside, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see the moon, stars, nothing, just barely the road through my headlights. And I had my window down because the AC wasn't working the best. And as I was coming around, there's a massive right curve right there before you cross the Black River. And then after that, you have the battlefield. So on that massive black curve, as I'm coming around, I had just started the curve and I was about a third of the way through it. And I look over into the ditch on my right because I caught a quick glimpse of something, and as I take a further look, it looks like there's I'd say probably a 30-something-year-old man standing in that ditch wearing what looks like an old Civil War uniform, just covered head to toe in blood. And the uniform was torn as well. That threw me off because I didn't expect to see it at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm calling 911 after I see him to report that because, for all I know, it could have just been a normal guy that was injured and needed emergency help. It looked like what had happened is he hit his head on something.
Okay.
And the blood was just pooling down over his face and torso.
Okay.
And, well, as I was calling, everything seemed perfectly normal, just quick phone call to 911, let them know, hey, there's a guy out here, and try to find somewhere safe to park so that way I can take them to him. Well, as you know from the 911 call, right as soon as I reported that, I already had my window up at that point. All of a sudden, I heard a massive bang on my truck, and my truck bounced down from the rear, like I was pulling a heavy trailer and I hit a pothole.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there going, what the hell was that? Which I'm pretty sure you heard me yell, what the hell? I turned on my bed light and I looked in my rearview mirror and all I saw was this white, snow white face right up against my rear windshield, like it was looking into my truck trying to see what it could see. It had shallow sunken eyes. It had no nose. Just think if you took skin and put it on a human skull and stretched it thin. Couldn't see any ears, just that. And immediately I just started screaming. I didn't realize until afterwards that I had said that's not human on the call, because it was just the first thing I started screaming because I was terrified. I didn't have my firearm with me, nothing. All I had was a wood splitting axe. So that's all I had. So, and my truck is loud as is, and it picks up speed fairly easily. Well, my truck at the time, it had a gas-powered 6-liter V8 Vortec on it, and it was a proper dual exhaust, hence why I had the window up, because that truck is nice and loud.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing in between like 55, 60 miles an hour when this happens, and I just stomped on the gas for a second. When I looked at the speedometer before I slammed on my brakes, I was doing maybe 80. And I slammed on those brakes with all my might, and I went from like 80 miles an hour down to like 35 in just like a couple of seconds. And all I see is this super scrawny long body just fly over my truck in a ball rolling. And as I then swerve to the left and get back in the travel lane, and I floor it. And as I'm swerving to the left, I see it stand up, and it is easily taller than that truck.
No way.
I'm 5'10". The truck is about 2 inches taller than I am. And this thing was easily like maybe 7 feet.
Wow.
And as I pass it, I look in my mirror and I see it bolt to the left into the woods, and it looked like some, I don't even know what the hell, because it looked like somebody took a normal human and stretched them out, starting with the limbs.
Wow.
It like abnormally long legs and arms, and it just took off into the woods. And I just said, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not staying to figure out what this is. And there's a gas station all the way at the corner where the highway intersects. And I pulled into that gas station. I was doing like 90 all the way to that gas station because that was the only place with any light that I saw.
Right.
And I just stopped in that parking lot and waited like 10, 15 minutes for state troopers to show up. Well, next thing I know, the state troopers show up at the gas station, and I'm just staring back at that road to make sure that it's not coming back.
Right.
So I tell them what happened. They proceed to look at my truck, look in the bed of the truck, look on top of the cab, and on top of the cab, clear as day, you can see like it was scratching trying to get into my truck.
Really?
Or when it initially hit, another way to look at it is when it hit the back of the truck and landed in the bed, like it had latched onto the hood for a second and scraped trying to balance itself.
Yeah.
And you could see that clear as day. I mean, there was a couple of scratches from like squirrels and tree branches, but those stuck out because it looked like it had landed like this and just ripped backwards. And, well, they asked me to take them approximately where it happened. And I mean, when it's the middle of the night and you're going the opposite direction of where you just came, your sense of direction's a little off.
Right.
So I took them back to approximately where I believe it was, because I couldn't see. I didn't remember any landmarks because I was going from the other way. But there was an S curve, and I think I took them. I think I might have taken them on accident to the S curve, but the incident happened before that S curve because I hit that S curve going about 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. I still remember the jolt of the truck, the fear, everything. I remember pretty much everything just in that one moment. I looked at the truck the next morning. Sure enough, scratch marks are right there on the roof of the truck.
What were the reaction of the law enforcement officers that showed up?
The law enforcement officers, when they showed up, they were skeptical. Although now they might not be as much. But at the time, the troopers especially seemed skeptical. Parks and Wildlife, when they flew the drone, they seemed more curious than anything. And EMS was more like, okay, are you okay? And they went and looked for the other guy and couldn't find him.
So the state patrol were there.
Yes.
EMS.
Yes.
Wildlife.
and
the sheriff's department.
Yes.
I guess, because we interviewed the sheriff, so he had deputies out.
And I think one of them might have broken off after the initial contact with me, but I know one of them was with me because I was still in fight or flight when they told me, "Hey, can you go back and show us?" Because I did not want to go back. I don't want to.
I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you.
I still refuse to drive through that area at night because I don't know what I saw. I don't ever want to see it again.
Zone family, that was a crazy interview, okay? That was a crazy interview. First, we had the phone call. I delivered the phone call to you guys. Now I'm delivering the footage of the caller, the actual Action Jackson, okay? We have the main character being interviewed. So please do me a favor, comment down below what y'all thought about the interview. Definitely appreciate every last one of you.
Have you ever heard of victims actually volunteering to be a cannibal's next meal? Well, I'm about to tell you about one of them, a man named Bernd Jorgen Brands. What was going on in his mind that he chose to be a willing victim of one of Germany's most popular cannibals? You are watching Crime Tales
After Nightfall.
It was the late 1990s in Berlin. The 43-year-old software developer, Brands, had intimate relations with both men and women. He had confusions about his identity, but was eventually able to come out to his partners. They thought that his confusion was the extent of his issues. But then he began to ask some very specific requests in the bedroom to one of his male partners, which were very disturbing. Brands wanted him to bite off his genital. Yes, you heard that right. He was even willing to pay him as much as $4,600 to do it. The partner said that Brands kept pressuring him to do it, and that he always achieved intense pleasure just thinking about it.
He wanted to be bitten everywhere, but there was his fantasy, his obsession.
Brands was left with an unfulfilled longing that felt like an itch he couldn't scratch. It's perhaps similar to suffering a lifetime of being unable to be satisfied. Until finally he found a man who was willing to do exactly what he wanted. A man who understood his needs and hunger. In 2001, Armin Maves put out an ad in a cannibal chat room for a well-built man, 18 to 30, who would like to be eaten by me. He was a self-confessed cannibal who, just like Brands, had disturbing fantasies since he was 8 years old. He fantasized about killing and devouring people, even as a child. At the time of his ad, it was uncommon and crazy to meet strangers on the internet. But Bernd Brands, who was in the same chat room, didn't care. His desire to be mutilated was, after all, even crazier. And so they started chatting online, sharing their fantasies, maybe even exchanged their emotional pains in life. 'Cause see, a couple psychiatrists said that both men had troubled relationships with their mothers. They believed Brands might have blamed himself for his mother's death in a car crash when he was 12 years old. His father often described the accident as suicide. Meanwhile, Meves had to deal with a horrible mother. She was incredibly controlling. She even demanded to be with her son on dates. And so, after some back and forth chatting, relating to each other, and maybe even falling in love because they understood each other, the two men agreed to meet. Brands was ready to die by this time. He even made out a will, leaving his possessions to his last lover, who never knew about his secret desires. Meeves took Brands to his farmhouse in Rottenburg, where he also showed him his slaughter room. After having dinner, talking and connecting about their disturbing cravings, they prepared themselves to do the unthinkable. Brands took 20 sleeping pills and drank some alcohol to ease the pain, and Meeves asked for Brands' consent to be killed and eaten. He videotaped that consent as well as what happened the rest of that night. Together, they fulfilled each other's fantasies. Brands even helped Meeves plan what to do with his body after.
We talked about exactly what would happen. Brand had very bizarre ideas and guidelines how he had planned his end.
They even shared frustrations that the flesh was too tough for them to eat. But Brands quickly became too weak from the blood loss. He was ready to face his death and bleed out in peace. And so Meeves took him to his bathtub and ran him a bath as he waited for the end. Brands drifted in and out of consciousness while soaked in water and his own blood.
Eigentlich unverständlich, aber war glücklich da, wie in seinem eigenen Blute saß.
The next morning, Armin found Brands still alive, and he finally ended his suffering by stabbing him in the neck. He then hung his body on a meat hook, and then he chopped up the parts and put them in a freezer. He buried the skull in his garden like they planned. Over the course of several months, Armin ate parts of Brands, about 44 pounds of him. After this, Meeves continued looking for willing victims online, and he was eventually arrested after a student reported him. In the long trial, he maintained that Brands wanted to be killed and eaten. His words were supported by the 4-hour video recording he made that night. But see, prosecutors said that Brands was suffering from a severe psychiatric disorder and a strong desire for self-destruction, which could have been a result of his guilt blaming himself for his mother's death. Meeves was eventually sentenced to life imprisonment, and even though he admitted that he regretted having killed Brands, he believed that with each piece he ate, he became closer to him, that even Brands' English-speaking skills passed on to him. He felt that eating Brands completed him and gave him a soulmate.
I killed a man, slaughtered him and ate him. Since then, he is always with me.
Now, I, of course, don't consider this crime acceptable in any way, even though there was a consent, and even though the victim himself wanted to die, because both of these men needed help, and that is what they should have gotten. But I do understand the source of each man's frustrations. It just so happened that their needs complemented each other's, and it's probably because of it that this has become one of the first ever cases of so-called love cannibalism.
Lock 'em up.
Lock 'em up.
Lock 'em up. Just like that meme. Lock his ass up. Lock him up. Throw away the key. Put the key in cement and throw some cement over it. Whatever y'all want to do, lock his ass up, okay?
Lock 'em up.
Family, that was a story and a half. Oh my God. Comment down below what y'all thought about that story. I'll be really fishing for you guys. I'll be in a lake fishing for these movies, for these videos, for these clips, okay? Zone family, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this. That was super creepy. Super creepy with two weirdos. Comment down below.
Found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices out there.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was, which I found different stuff before, you know. I'll find maybe where someone was doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrificed a chicken, whatever. All that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy. But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news. And that's the facility I was hunting. It's Aerojet. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets.
And what were you hunting there?
Pythons. I was out there, you know, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from out there. And nobody can just go back out there, but people do go out there, as you can see from the graffiti and different stuff like that. Usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There've been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram that's...
So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside down wooden cross on top, and a bunch of red spray painted upside down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, you know, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new. You know, this wasn't out here a few days ago. And then I found this little doll. And as I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up this, there it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, you know, it was kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life, and that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus. There was blood coming out of its beehole, which, you know, I don't know why, who knows what. It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weirder from there. You see the red lettering in the other clip. It was a big Latin saying, like 100-foot long pretty much, on the road. I drove over it. We later translated it to, turn around, run, hide, he is watching you. Go further into the complex, and there's these big abandoned buildings. I go into the building, you know, still just python hunting, like, you know, who knows what these kids are doing out here. I thought it was strange, the Latin. Your average kid just messing around don't know Latin sayings like that. And then I come to this big room where there's the big pentagram. In the middle of the pentagram, there is a three-legged plastic chair with a blood stain in the bottom of it, where you could tell something was killed, sacrificed, whatever. On each wall, there's 3 walls. On each wall, there's upside down crosses, Latin sayings, and all kinds of stuff. As I'm kind of walking into the room, which, you know, I don't want to sound like a psycho or anything, but that doll from earlier grabbed my leg. I don't know if I kicked it, I didn't see it, or what, but that doll from the rock pile somewhere else, I don't know if it was another doll or what, I never seen that other doll. I kick it, it seemed like it grabbed me. It's that same doll from earlier. Same thing with the cross on its forehead, the one eye cocked over, the other eye messed up. And so, you know, it's very, very weird to me. It kind of like scared me.
So
right next,
it wasn't there, and then it was there. So
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
You didn't carry it over there.
No, I didn't touch it.
So did anybody else? Was anybody else with you?
I had 2 guys with me that didn't even want to get out of the truck when they seen the first thing. They stayed in the truck.
So the same doll that you saw on the rock pile somehow made its way to where you were?
Yep. I don't know if it's a duplicate doll or what, but it's same.
Was there more than one of those dolls?
Only doll I seen. Only doll I seen. I'm not big on the whole supernatural thing, so I'm real doubtful of it in the first place. But to me, it was the same doll from earlier. I did not see it until it hit my foot. Right next to that doll, there is a saying on the ground that says, "The omen will follow," which to me was like the creepiest thing of the whole thing. Was like, you know, that if you interact with any of this spirit's gonna follow you. Which, I'm Christian, I believe in God, and I wasn't worried, you know, I know the good Lord has my back. But very strange, right? Very strange. As we go through, there's all kind of different stuff. In one of the rooms, there's a sleeping bag with something inside of it. I don't think it was a body, anything like that. Police went out there, investigated it. I didn't investigate further past that. Something was inside the sleeping bag, and on the walls there was, looked like red spray paint, and it said, she was only 9, we gave her to the devil, like basically talking about sacrificing a child. And then you have this little girl's gown that's nailed to the wall with like a dark red stain on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And what was the investigation? Did you follow up and find out what they found out?
I never heard anything from it. I'm assuming they never found much from it because I never heard anything from it.
Did they know it was human blood that was in the chair?
I don't know.
Or on the...
I don't know. I would like to think it's red spray paint, but I don't know. I don't know. For the sake of the story, who knows what it was?
What would cause someone to even, let's just pretend that was just fake and they had a doll and they spray painted everything. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're way
out there. Dude, that's such a commitment. That's like...
And the fact that there's a deep history of Satanism
to bring all that
attached.
stuff out there. Yeah. It's crazy.
And the scary thing is, you know that there are people that sacrifice people. That's happened. That's a real thing.
Oh,
Whether that's happening right now, it's just cognitive dissonance that keeps you from believing.
People will actually go in a closed facility and practice rituals. Don't just think Hollywood is doing this shit. And don't trust nothing and question everything. Seriously, comment down below. That was wild.
The missing hiker who became a scarecrow, 24-year-old Sarah Jenkins from Columbus, Ohio, had a travel blog called Sarah Sees the World. She had just graduated from journalism and was ready to tackle the dream that she had had since she was a child, to walk alone in an extensive part of the Appalachian Mountains, and this was a big mistake. She wasn't a professional hiker, but she prepared diligently. She spent months preparing and getting ready for everything she needs for her hike. Her plan was to document every step of her journey through photos, texts, and videos. In early June, she said goodbye to her family and flew to Georgia, where her adventure would begin. When she went on her hike, her blog grew rapidly. Her post conveyed a mixture of freedom and amazement. But one day, silence fell like a slab. There were no more updates. She didn't respond to any messages and her phone was offline. Forest rangers and police combed the area. Only the father refused to give up. And for 2 years, he walked the path alone, clinging to hope that he would find her. While talking to a farmer on a rural road in West Virginia, something stopped the man. In the cornfields, he spotted a strange-looking scarecrow, wearing a hat that looks painfully familiar. He got closer and closer, and what he discovered next left him shocked and speechless. It wasn't a doll, but a human skeleton, with strands of long dark hair and a hat that looks just like Sarah's. The body was tied to a wooden cross, intertwined with rotten straw, exposed to the sun and wind as if it was part of the landscape. The police were immediately alerted. Multiple forensic analysis confirmed the unthinkable. This was the body of 24-year-old Sarah Jenkins. She was there all this time in plain sight, turned into a macabre symbol of what a dream-filled young girl once was. Nobody knows how she got there, and this case remains a mystery to this.
Zone family, you see what I be telling y'all? Like, some people really get up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna walk the Appalachian Mountains by myself today. I'm gonna go deep in the mountains and get lost. You have to be boo-boo the fool. On everything, you boo-boo the fool. Like, ain't no way I'm getting up and be like, yeah, yo, babe, I'm going to the Appalachian Mountains today. I'm coming. Nah, you ain't coming. I'm going by myself. You out your rabbit ass mind. You out your rabbit ass mind. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Comment down below, chat. Let me know what you thought about that story, and would you bring your ass to the Appalachian Mountains by yourself?
The CEO of Rock Nation is once again in the news. She was also known as a federal informant from back in the day. She was like a drug mule, and she told on her drug boss and got him locked up, and then proceeded to work for Rock Nation after that, which is weird. I feel like she was hired by the CIA or hired by the FBI, one of those alphabet boys, to work in the music industry. Because did you hear that her daughter is now coming out and saying she basically tried to get him up for a disagreement that her husband had with her, and now she's like trying to get her husband locked up. And
Didn't she say that she tried to commit her to like a psychiatric ward?
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I think I saw footage to where there's a doctor who pulls up, and this is on the camera footage of the police, and she says, "I don't know that doctor. Who is this?" And he's like trying to commit her. He's like, "Yeah, here's your meds. We got to take you in." She's like, "I've never seen you before," which is very common in the industry because they have handlers. This is what happened with Kanye.
Britney Spears.
All these people who have these trainers and these doctors who are really assets to the government, even with Kanye's guy. So he is from Canada, but it turns out that he worked for the Canadian government.
We need to talk about him more because that dude followed Kanye to Dubai. I was talking to Vori. Vori's a good friend of mine. He writes for Kanye West. He told me, yeah, it was real. This guy was following us.
Yeah.
And that's the guy, the notorious message where he told Kanye, look, if you don't do this, I'm going to send you back to Zombieland and sedate you.
Crazy. That's a crazy bar, too.
That's insane, bro.
I send you back to Zombieland?
And then playtime with kids won't ever be the same. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, he was talking crazy.
That's some CIA
crazy
psyop shit.
Right.
Something really crazy was recently discovered in the Grand Canyon, and there's not a whole lot of people talking about this. Before I get into that, around the same time as this discovery, there was also wildfires and floodings that caused parts of the Grand Canyon to get shut off from tourism. People are now skeptical of this series of events, wondering if this was just nature's natural incidents or if this could have been something more intentional in order to prevent more things from being discovered in the Grand Canyon. Now you may be thinking that's crazy, but in 1908, a traveler named G.E. Kincaid wanted to explore the Grand Canyon before it was officially declared a national park. While exploring, he ran across a man-made opening into a cave system, but when he went into this cave system, he realized that this wasn't any ordinary cave, but an entire ancient city deep in the Grand Canyon. He estimated that around 50,000 people could have lived there at one point, but the city itself wasn't even the strangest part. The strangest part is that he found ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs on the walls, which is really strange when you consider the location. Fast forwarding to more recent times, we're being told that a bizarre ancient creature was unearthed. Maybe there's more to discover in the Grand Canyon after all.
Zone family, I truly believe, right? When shit hit the fan, the Grand Canyon is our only option. That's just my theory. Comment down below.
What up? It's Jimmy Kimmel, and welcome to The Rabbit Hole, the hole where I do my own research. And today we are digging into the hole known as 5G. What is 5G? Who's behind this? And what I'm about to reveal is going to blow your mind out your ass and back into your brain again. My sources are telling me that 5G stands for Five Guys, the burger chain. Their whole business is a lie. Here are the owners of Five Guys, the Morrell family. You notice anything odd here? Well, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 guys at Five Guys. You know who else had 6 guys? Toto, the band that blesses the rains down in Africa. You know what this rain they bless brings to Africa? Malaria. That's Melania. It's different. Malaria. Do you know when the malaria vaccine was created? 1987. And guess what year the Toto song Africa came out? 1982. 5 years before the vaccine in 1987, which was 6 months after the first Five Guys opened and when the EPA started measuring wireless radiation safety limits. I'm sure that's a coincidence. Okay, back to Toto. Toto named their band after the dog from The Wizard of Oz. Interesting if you know the truth about vaccines and measles.
I had the measles once, and she stayed right by me every minute.
She's putting her hand on her heart.
Oh, no, no.
Did Auntie M maybe get vaccinated, and now she's paying the price? Auntie M for... Just asking questions. But back to these 5 guys. On their website, they attempt to explain that they were already calling it Five Guys before their youngest brother Tyler was born. So that would mean the original 5 guys were Jerry, Jim, Matt, Chad, and Ben. If you count up all the letters in their names, isolate and multiply them, what do you get? 720. 720. The area code for the Denver airport, where we all know the underground bunkers are located. DIA, which is just one letter away from CIA. The DIA airport was founded on March 19th, 1994 by the Freemasons. And what else was happening on that exact same day? March 19th, 1994, a group of Japanese men dressed like chefs made the world's largest omelet. 2 months later, guess what shows up in Mexico? The bird flu. Right across our border. A lot of suspicious things went down in 94. OJ was framed for murder. Tonya Harding was framed for assault. And in Houston, Texas, Crown Castle International was founded, the second largest provider of 5G towers in America. Let's take a peek at some of the kings who are running Crown Castle. How many guys do you count here? I count 5. 5 guys. If that's not enough to make your head spin like a top, here comes the smoking gun. Guess who loves the 5-6 guys? Barack Hussein Obama. On May 29, 2009, exactly 25 years and 10 days after that other stuff that happened earlier, Castle Crown Obama visited 5 guys in Washington, D.C. C-SPAN was there, and the cameras caught this particularly interesting meet and greet.
What do you do, Walt? We're NGA, National Geospatial Intelligence. Outstanding.
Did you hear that? President Obama had an accidental meeting with someone from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency inside of 5 guys. And what does the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency do? They assess global cybersecurity security threats, like 5G. Let's go back and take a look at that date again. May 29th, 2009. Anyone want to guess what else Obama did the same day he bumped into a cybersecurity combat support agency specialist out of 5 guys? He gave a speech on cyber security.
We're renewing American leadership to confront unconventional challenges, from nuclear proliferation to terrorism, from climate change to pandemic disease. Pandemic disease. Pandemic disease.
Pandemic disease, 5 guys, 6 guys, Obama. It's all right there. This is the biggest restaurant conspiracy since Hillary's pepperoni pizza party, which, by the way, just happens to be 22 minutes down the road. And may God have mercy on us all. That's it for the rabbit hole. Don't believe anything you hear, unless you hear it from me.
Comment down below what y'all thought about Jimmy Kimmel Rabbit Hole. Don't know his last name. Don't judge me. Comment down below.
While the world is busy arguing about politics, Chinese scientists just quietly de-aged monkeys. Let me try and explain this in American. You see, at the very center of the aging process are your stem cells. Think of them as construction workers, and your body is the city. When the city is young with no corrupt politicians, these workers, they show up in hordes. They fix potholes, keep the streets clean, and build houses for the homeless. But as the city ages and the politicians start to become corrupt, insert your choice of Republican or Democrat, fewer construction workers start turning up. This causes buildings to become run down, trash starts piling up on the streets. Heck, some of those construction workers are now dealing Fent to the homeless. So this team of Chinese scientists from CCMU said, let's try and create a brand new special type of construction worker that resists these corrupt politicians and maintain the city no matter what. And so they created a new type of human stem cell. And all you need to know, it's called SRCs for short. Then over the next 44 weeks, they injected these SRC cells into macans that were the equivalent age of humans in their 60s and 70s. And what they discovered is remarkable. Not only did these new stem cells reverse key signs of aging in 10 major body systems, but they also presented minimal to no negative side effects. No tissue damage, no tumors, no fevers, no weight loss. And at the end of this 44-week trial, these grandpa monkeys Their brains worked better. Their bones were stronger. Their tissues showed less damage. They grew new, healthy cell populations in their brain and reproductive organs. Even their sperm production was improved. Hey, yo! Now, what makes this even more exciting is that this study was published in Cell, which is a highly revered journal where the peer review standards are rigorous. And this was achieved on monkeys, which are much more similar to humans, because the majority of anti-aging studies are done on mice or other simpler organisms. Now, there are some caveats. Because their findings are novel, meaning the first of their kind, there is no replication yet. They also weren't very clear on the sample size. Was this 3 monkeys? Was this 100? And also, just because it's showing promising results in monkeys doesn't necessarily mean that it will work the same for humans. But I don't know. After Gian Putin McCord on a hot mic talking about living forever, something's going.
Something is definitely going on. Cause them 3 boys was walking and talking about living forever in a little secret meeting they had. Yeah. But anyway, man, what y'all thought about that? I mean, that's some serious innovation right there. That's some serious innovation. But then again, they go test it on human beings, it might go south. You know what I'm saying? It might go south. Cause the human body does not work just like the monkey body does. We like to think so, but it's totally 2 different things. Comment down below.
So check this out, family. Apparently, half of TikTok thinks that today is the rapture, where Jesus descends from the heavens and picks up the chosen to leave the rest of the people to deal with the devil ruling over this planet for about 1,000 years. And people are dead serious about this too, y'all. People are listing their homes. They are selling their cars. They are cashing out like last night was the end of the world. Have you guys seen the movie number 23 with Jim Carrey? Have all these events took place in history and then number 23 was present? Well, everybody has been saying something was going to happen on 9/23 for such a long time. But yes, y'all, check this video out. So the rapture is supposed to happen. I don't know if it's noon Eastern or Pacific, but yeah, this is what these people are saying.
Rapture trip tip number 5. When you finally start moving up into the air, I recommend that you don't hold on to anything. I definitely don't recommend looking down. I think we learned that lesson from Lot's wife. Okay, just keep calm, take a deep breath, slowly release it, and keep your face looking upwards.
Doing some planning for the rapture for those of us that are going to be left behind. There's probably some things we need to start doing. So I think marking property is going to be something we should probably start doing. So you can go ahead and tag what you would like to have after they've been raptured out of it and they leave it behind. So if there's a nice house you like, really nice car, you know, we should probably start designating and, you know, dibs on this. So get yourself some stickers. We're probably going to have to come up with a process of fumigation for the articles that are left behind, because I'm sure they're going to be filled with cooties.
Guys, I'm saying goodbye to my car. I've had it for 5 years. They're taking it. No, this is my baby, man. This has been my baby for years. 5 years. But she's gonna go. I won't need her beyond September, because I'm going home to where my Father in heaven is.
Hey guys, alright, what did I do today to prepare my home for the people that are left behind? Let me show you. I got these at the Dollar Tree. I just wrote these on here, like little notes. I also bookmarked some scriptures. There's the scriptures for you. And I wrote this in every single one of the books. So hopefully, these books end up in the hands of people who need them.
Personal confirmation that we are going home in my whole life. I just did an hour and a half live from Jerusalem, and a dove flies up. I've lived in Jerusalem for a year, and this has never happened before. This dove was so chill. It let me come up to it. It let me pet it, and it was just like hanging out with me the entire time I was doing this live. And we had 20 people get saved on this live. But then the Holy Spirit said, Noah. And I freaked out. 3 days ago, he told me to read the story of Noah.
Okay, so I just heard that the fucking rapture is on the 23rd or 25th of September. My fucking birthday. You've had 2,025 years for a save a date. But do you have to fucking pick my 60th fucking birthday? I want to get to retirement. I want to actually enjoy myself. What the fuck? You had the first coming, now you want the second coming. You can't even get your books right. Do I like the original book or do I want the new book? New book isn't quite so fucking good. Let's get King fucking James to transcribe it into how he fucking thinks that the world should interpret the fucking fairy tales. What the fuck? I have just bought a 7-pack of fucking new underwear. And if the Rapture is on fucking Tuesday or Wednesday, today's Sunday, I won't even get a chance to fucking wear half of them. What do? Do I wear the pink undies first and save the black undies for the Rapture? Just in case I fucking shit myself because it's going to be a little bit stressful?
So y'all tell me, is this prophecy unfolding right in front of us, or is this another mass distraction event going on? Because how did we all end up on, Rapture side of TikTok? You know what I'm saying? We didn't ask for that, did we? How did this happen? TikTok picks and chooses what they want us to see now, y'all. This is crazy. But yeah, y'all. So by noon o'clock today, something's supposedly supposed to go on. I don't know what coast, but I'll let you guys know if anything happened. But yeah, what y'all think about this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. I guess it's almost here. Let's get it. Peace in.
Whoever put out that information is deceiving. The Most High told us. He doesn't even know. So how can we as men play like we know when it's happening? Like, come on, bro. You don't need to sell anything or return it if the Rapture is here. Let's be honest. Anyway, family, comment down below. I'm not going to ramble on this. Comment down below.
I want to pass on some more information. We just got confirmed. The three people that were shot were apparently in ICE custody. We were told a white male was shooting at detainees from a rooftop, that the suspect shot himself when approached by law enforcement.
That is crazy. How somebody in an ICE facility shoot people? That is diabolical. That is crazy. That is our tax dollars. Comment down below. But anyway, guys, I appreciate every last one of you who has made it to the end of the video right now. I definitely appreciate and love you guys. Please, if you ain't subscribed yet, subscribe and also hit that like button so you can boost up the algorithm so more people that's like-minded and brilliant like you can see the channel also. For everybody that subscribed, you know I love you, got mad love for you, and I appreciate you. Because of you, I do what I do. With that being said, family, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for every time I drop. We get to be rocking out with each other. With that being said, family, I got some things to do for y'all for tomorrow. One love, spread love, and love thy neighbor.